Did I win or lose during Pupil Sticks? I won. That's all that needs to be said. How many people got recycled in your flight? What did they do? During basic training, we only lost 3 people, and every time we lost someone, it was like losing a brother. It was the worst thing ever. So we had someone who just quit. He was done. He was tired, exhausted. We had another person, he was suicidal. That was a thing. He would drink cologne, and he just wasn't having a good time. And then the third one, he got out because of medical reasons. He got hurt and he pushed himself too hard. We only lost 3 people, and I know that's really low for an average flight to lose 3 people, but every time we lost someone, it was just terrible. We were really close as a flight. So, what was the best job to have at BMT? The best job to have at BMT is probably the day room crew, because you pretend to wipe down a whiteboard and that's it. What was the worst job to have at BMT? Oh man, I had the worst job, being the latrine chief or being on the latrine crew, which is terrible. You do not want that, let me tell you. Or the utility crew. You do not want either of those two, because every day you get inspected on your dorm, and those are the 2 areas that get the most marks or get the most discrepancies. What was the scariest moment you had at BMT? The scariest moment I had was that 0 night, the first night we were there, and we had like 5 to 7 NTIs in there, and it was like all hell broke loose. It was terrible, and I thought if this was basic training, I would not survive. But it's not like that. They do that to say, we're the top dogs, we're in charge here, you're not in charge, we are the MTIs, you do what we say. So that was the scariest moment. How many times did you get yelled at personally out of the entirety of basic training? Like 5 times. I didn't get yelled at very often. Just don't be stupid. It's really easy not to get yelled at. All you have to do is shut up, which apparently is really hard for people. Shut up and follow simple instructions. If you do those 2 things, you will survive basic training and you will pass with flying colors. It's not that hard. What is your best memory from BMT? I have a lot of good memories from BMT. Should I say some of them? Probably not, but I'm going to give them to you anyways. Another memory during basic training was Beast Week, and everyone would save all the quote illegal items in the MRE. So you can't have matches, you can't have gum, you can't save your food, like, so people would hold on to their candy or their drink powder or whatever sort of goodie they had. And I was in tent 1, okay? I was tactical deployment leader of tent 1. I went into tent 0 and I saw the beast, what's it called? The Beast Master? I forgot, what is it called? Anyways, the dorm chief for Beast Week, it's called like the Beast Master. He was in tent 0. Everyone was snorting the drink powder. Everyone was lighting matches. Everyone was just being crazy, and it was hilarious. I came in, I was like, what the piss? But it wasn't my authority to be an MTI. So when you get to basic training, don't be an MTI. Just be like one of the guys, and you'll have fun. So don't be the one to yell at people, because that's not your place. That's what I did, and I wish I hadn't done that. It would have made basic training better if I just wasn't like an MTI, because I took it so seriously. I was like the tattletale, and I wish I hadn't done that. So don't do that. What percentage on your flight knew Kyle Gott? A good number of people knew Kyle Gott. I would say about 75%. A lot of people go into basic training absolutely blind, not knowing anything, and that's the worst thing you can do. The best thing you can do is watch videos, prepare yourself mentally, know facing movements, know the Air Force Creed, Air Force song, rank structure, have a general idea, or watch videos so you know what you're getting into, because people think it's Bible camp and it's not Bible camp at all. What were your NTI's favorite sayings? Hold on, let me get my flight shirt. Okay, let me show you. This is my flight shirt, Flight 293. You have the American flag right there. And before we would go out to eat, every time we would say Undugu Yangu, which is my brother, I think, in Swahili. We had this guy, his name was Trainee Ansongo. He was like 40 years old, this guy from Africa, and he earned his citizenship by joining the Air Force, and he was like the most cheerful guy. Every time he would have a bad day, he would keep our spirits up. He was great. So here it is. Here's the back of our shirt. See that Commander's Excellence, Top Male PT? Okay. Here's Staff Sergeant Echaluse. So her saying was easy, right? So she would explain the drill movement and then she would do it and she would tell us, easy, right? And that's what she did for everything. Staff Sergeant Walliver, right here, his saying was, imagine that. So every time we would mess up or we would do something, he would say, oh, Flight 293 doesn't know how to do this? Imagine that. Or Flight 293 eating white bread? Imagine that. Imagine that. Actually, this has a lot of meaning behind it. So this would be Staff Sergeant Echaluse. So the female MTIs, their hat would have that curve on the side. That's how you know it's a male or female MTI. So the yellow bird is from the Jody. It's a yellow bird with a yellow bill landed on my windowsill. And then the white bread is from Staff Sergeant Walliver. So he was all about nutrition. So he would say, why are you eating white bread? No white bread, no white bread. And it was like a joke. And we made fun of him about it. And we ended up putting a piece of white bread right there. So there's a lot of meaning because white bread and with the Jody, with the bird, I lured him in with a piece of bread and then I smashed his freaking head. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And this is our shirt with the wolf. I think it looks badass, doesn't it? So that was my MTI sayings. And if I could change one thing about BMT, what would it be? I wish it was harder. I really do. BMT is, they say it's hardest. It's not hard. I wish they would play more mind tricks. They would play more mind games just to keep you on your toes. All you have to do is just shut up and follow simple instructions. And that's how you pass basic training. The physical aspect of it is not hard. The learning aspect of it is not hard. All you have to do is just apply yourself, and that's it. You'll be fine. Another thing, if I could change about basic training, I don't know. I had a lot of good memories about basic training. That's all I really have. Thank you so much, Kyle, for having me again. And yeah.